Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. So happy to have you all here. We have a very special guest with us. You know her, you love her. You've probably read a couple of her books.
Oh,
Taylor, would you like to introduce yourself?
oh my gosh, I would love to. Let me grab my books. Oh my gosh. Hello, everybody. My name is Tay. I am an author tuber, booktuber, and also an indie author. These are my two books, Venture Below and Venture Beyond. It is a YA fantasy series full of action, adventure, fugitive princess, pirates, the assassination of a king, an evil queen, lots of secrets, a magical plant. I am working on the third book in the series, Venture Alone. I'm on chapter 4 of this second draft, and it has been a grueling process because I realized how much I have to rewrite and how much I have to change. So it's been fun, but I'm feeling better than I did before I started because I just had reread it and saw all of the problem areas, and now I'm actually like fixing them, so I feel better. But yes, that is me. Hello. I'm trying to put my books back now.
Saying hello to all of our friends here in chat. But if you don't know who I am, you're on my channel. My name is Cody. I'm a writer, and I am also an animal enthusiast. We have a corgi in the background that you can see, and there's also a kitty in my lap. So, the vibes are strong. We're here to have a good time. And yeah, if you didn't notice, the category for today's live stream is all about outlining because Taylor and I are both working on some sort of outline in some respect. I am writing well, I guess I'm rehashing an outline, just making it more specific. Taylor has already drafted the book, so now she is tweaking her outline before, really diving into the next draft of her book. So, yeah, all about outlining. If you have any questions on our process, our thoughts, or if you just want some advice, if you're stuck on a certain part of the outlining process, let us know and we'll yap about it. And yeah, so I guess we can start. I'll start with a question. I'm just going to come up with one off the top of my brain, see if I can do this. So, Taylor, okay, so this is now your third book that
Yeah.
you have, that you've kind of you're working towards completion and publishing. Have you noticed that there are specific things that you don't know with each book until you're in the revision process? Like parts of your outline that you don't know until you're in this like revision part? Like have you found a
100.
common theme between the three books?
Yes, definitely. Um, okay. Usually I have exactly like the last frame or the last scene of the book in mind, but it's right before then that usually has some like emptiness to it. I know she is so cute.
She's just a sleepy little girl.
Oh, so yeah, usually it's that third act, like right before the last scene or the last image of the book that I usually have a question mark about. Like I'm not really sure. And the very last scene, the very last glimpse, like that'll usually come to me like sometimes before the rest of the outline. Usually I'll picture that last scene, especially with Venture Below. I knew exactly how that one was ending. Venture Beyond, I knew exactly how that one was ending. We tweaked it a little bit, but I had in mind like how I wanted that final scene to go. And the same thing for Venture Alone. Like I have that final image, but right until like, I don't know, maybe like this sounds crazy, but like 6 chapters before that are kind of muddy. Like I'm looking at it through like murky water, and I'm just kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, I think I know how we're going to get to this bit, but like I'm not sure. And usually that means I have to be adding more context, more to the scenes and stuff like that. So it's just more work for me in the revision process, but yeah, it's usually that very ending that I have to reimagine.
I love that. Yeah, I've always kind of thought of it as like my outline before I start the draft is almost like when you take a picture and it's like really blurry. You can kind of tell what it is, but you can't really make out all the little
Yeah.
details. And then by the time I finish drafting, obviously it's a little less blurry. And then when I go back to my outline, I am focusing in all those little parts to make the bigger picture and to make it more of a clear picture. And so that's kind of how I've like always thought about it. Is like the first outline is like a blurry picture where you can sort of make out what's happening in the photo, but the more
Mhm.
that you revise and you dig into the actual draft, the more you're focusing in on all of those little aspects within the bigger
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah, you're like sharpening up the image. I totally get it.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
even adding like some saturation. Sometimes it's
Yeah,
like
maybe a
black and
filter.
white and yeah. Yeah.
We got a lot of people that are going to be outlining today.
Ooh. Oh,
Also, Taylor, I think you're frozen for me. I don't know if I'm frozen for you.
doggone it. No. No.
I can hear you just fine. It was just your thing froze. But yeah, a lot of people are ready to do their outline. I don't print out my outline actually. Usually, what I do is once I have the full outline, I take the scene by scene or the chapter by chapter, however you do it, and I plug that into my Scrivener document in the little notes section before I even start drafting. That way, it's there. It's always pulled up when I'm in that chapter. I can look in that little corner and know exactly what needs to happen. So yeah, that's what I do.
Am I still there? Am I alive again?
I can hear you, but you're still in the same frozen spot.
Does it turn? Am I just the image now?
Yeah, you're just your profile picture.
I don't even know why. Like nothing is different than usual. That's so
Do you want
okay.
to try like hopping out and then hopping back
Yeah,
in? See if
yeah.
that
That's what
helps.
I'm gonna do. I'll be right back.
Okay, no worries. I'm gonna just yap and distract people with words, allegedly. But yeah, we have so many friends here. Hi, we have Ian, Luana, uh, all the friends, all the friends. For outlining, honestly, whatever I have the most accessible, most of the time in the outlining phase, it comes to me in spurts. And so I typically use Google Docs just because that's the one I can access the easiest from anywhere. And then once I really kind of have that final vibe, then it's there. Hi, welcome back, Queen. You
Am
look
I
crispy and clear.
crispy and clear? Okay, okay.
We
I
love
don't
to see
know.
it.
I'm not gonna get angry. I'm gonna be an adult.
Yeah,
It's fine.
yeah.
It happens.
You know the video of the girl that's like, "What do you mean? It's not even fair." And then she just stops.
And
Just
it's
like,
like,
"Wait,
wait, I
I'm
need
an
to calm
adult. I need to calm down."
down. Yes.
That's literally me at all times.
Oh,
But do you have anything that you use specifically to outline?
like software
Yeah. I
or
was talking about how I use like Google Docs because I needed to be able to access it from anywhere because the outline
yeah,
typically comes to me in spurts. It doesn't all come to me at once. So I got to
yeah.
be ready for inspiration to strike.
Well, I am a new plotter, so
Mm.
it's like I'm kind of discovering what I like best. Initially, when I first started to, I was using just in Scrivener. I had my own little like page kind of set up for it, and I just called it my like space. So I was dumping everything and then kind of fitting it to work what I need. And then when me and Natalie started collaborating and like she was helping me work through the outline, she used Google Docs so we could be editing it at the same time, and I love it. Like I think Google Docs is probably the way I'm going to go in the future because like just like what you said, like I want to be able to access it from anywhere.
Hmm. And
So yeah.
also, outlining for me is always a bullet list. I don't know if
Yeah.
it is for you or not, but I don't like number my outline. It's literally a bulleted list. And then from there, I kind of like, if this is like a really short plot
Like
point
an
and this is a little
umbrella.
bit longer, I'll kind of like group them together and be like, okay,
Uh,
this bracket is chapter one, bracket chapter two. Because sometimes a scene takes up a whole chapter, and then sometimes it can be a couple scenes in a chapter. But that's with every
yeah.
story. I feel like it's just different. You kind of have
Yeah.
to go with the flow, see what works. But
Natalie, she organized it in like a table format. So she had like the side. Dude, she's so cute.
she's just asleep. But if I say, honey, honey,
No, you call
oh,
my dog.
oh, can
Oh
they hear
no.
me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
come
man.
here,
Anyway.
sugar. Oh,
Oh. But she did it like a table. So then on the left column she had like the chapter, but then also what plot point we were supposed to be hitting. So like we were following the 27 chapter like
mm-hmm.
fluid way. And so we'd have that on the sides, so then we kind of knew what we needed to aim for. And then she'd put like scene one and then like scene two in that chapter. And then we'd like, if that making sense. I don't really know if it
Yeah.
is. But
No, it
that's
is.
kind
I
of
got you.
yeah, that's how we did it. And I like that a lot. I think I'm going to try to use that same format. I know some people use like Notion and stuff, but I think my brain needs just like the simplest page that I can just, tweak and keep it really simple.
I love that. Yeah. I feel like the simpler the better because just for me, I'm a very linear
Yeah.
thinker, especially with story. And so just a bulleted list works the best for me, just because it's automatically linear, because you're just going down the
Yeah.
list. You're like, okay, this scene is what it is. And then in my brain, I'm like, next bullet point, what would naturally happen? Like, because I have like goalposts that we're working up towards. Like, I know the big events that need to happen in the story. And so once I have those big goalposts, I'm basically just like in my brain watching it like a Netflix limited series or like a movie. And I'm like, okay, naturally, what scene would come after the events that I just wrote?
Yeah.
And I'm a very like Ian said, he's a very visual person. I'm more visual inside of my brain than I am outside of my brain, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't need what I'm looking at to be visual. It's actually better if it's not visual, because that way all the visuals can live in my brain and I'm not distracted by what I'm looking at, you know?
Yeah,
And I can
you're
like slip into
creating.
that. Yeah, I can slip into that visual state a little bit easier. Take a shot every time I say the word visual of water or iced coffee, whatever your choice. I'm actually out of iced coffee. It's kind of sad, but you know, it is. Oh, are we having a little thumbnail moment? Ooh, somebody screen cap us with our cups because we're models.
Mine has fishing lures.
Mine has Elphaba.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute though.
Yeah, our queen, Cynthia Erivo, in all her glory. We love her. Anyway, I don't know how we got there, but ooh, yeah, please do. Because even I love seeing other people's progress. Hold on, I just had a
process.
That one. Thank you. My brain had a for a minute, but I love seeing other people's process because one, I just find it fascinating because me personally, I don't necessarily go to YouTube to try to emulate someone else's process. I'm just more fascinated with how all of our brains work so differently, but it gets to the same end result. You know, it's just so interesting to me. I love it. Girl, listen. I'm here for it. I like it. Clark was not, upon first listen, he was like, you know what, I'm not a fan. But also he was, when we got Abracadabra, we thought that, you know, she was setting the tone like, you want old Gaga again? Well, here it is, because Abracadabra was very much that. But then she really gave us the 180. But because there really wasn't any other song on the album that matched the vibe of Abracadabra, in my opinion. Garden of Eden might be the closest one that has that, like, you know, like Gaga vibe. But I thought it was fun. And I like the artistry behind it and the thought process behind it, because as an artist, and, you know, we talk about this all the time here with writing books, with like, you know, why can't we write in multiple genres? Why can't artists, like, not just writers that write books, but why can't singers and songwriters write in multiple genres? And I feel like that was really the statement that she made with this, which I feel like has been almost like a movement lately of like letting an album have multiple storylines instead of just one storyline, because we're all complex creatures and characters that have a lot of different likes and dislikes. And I feel like, I mean, because that's what happened with Cowboy Carter. Beyonce was like, oh, I want to do a little country album to show all of you that I can. And she did. She did. She, in fact, ate. But also, like, imbued her own, like, history and culture within that. And I feel like Lady Gaga did the same thing with Mayhem, where we have all of these storylines of her kind of, like, trying to fight with this older version of herself and coming to terms with the fact that that's not who she is anymore.
Yeah.
And kind of showing all of these branches that her mind goes in, because literally there's like no song on that album is the same.
Honestly.
Anyway, that you opened a can of worms, because I just love yapping about artists and their art, because I just think it's so cool. I watched all the videos, the interviews that she's done so far, and just the fact that her thought process of, you know, Die With a Smile, everyone knows, with Bruno Mars, beautiful song. She has another song on the album called Vanish Into You. And she's like, those two songs are very similar, but one of them comes from, like, Vanish Into You comes from wanting to just disappear and just disappear inside of this other person. While Die with a Smile, it feels very much like two individuals who want to be together forever, and it's okay that they're different because they work together so well, you know? And anyway, that's the tea on that. Also, How Bad Do You Want Me? Obsessed, because it's really the Taylor Swift Lady Gaga crossover that we all needed in our life.
Yes.
And I do be bopping that song in the car. You like my hair and my ripped up jeans. You like the bad girl I got in me. It's so good. It's a bop. Anyway, all that to say, I'm a fan of Mayhem.
Yes.
Taylor, do you have any thoughts? Because I feel like I just rambled for like 20 minutes.
No.
Even though I didn't.
No. I was eating up every single word you said. I agree with it all. You said it so eloquently. And I've always loved Lady Gaga, but I feel like I'm not like feral for her. Like I never have been, but I really
I'm the same way. I'm not feral for any artist. Like people like I like Taylor. I tell them I like Taylor Swift, and they're like, "Oh, you're a Swiftie," and I'm like, "No, I'm just a person that likes their music."
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. I would say like her music specifically. I think I'm one of those like I listen to what's on the radio. I listen to like the classics and like the bangers that I know and am familiar with. But Mayhem is the first album that I actually like listened to front to back like a few times, and I was like, this slaps. Like this actually hits so hard. So I love everything you said, though. It was very well put, man. I agree.
Yeah, it's so cool how artists' brains work, and like, I don't know. The more I guess now that I'm in this creative space of writing and sharing my work with others, I approach all art, like music, books, paintings, whatever, much more differently. Because instead of when I hear something and I don't like it, instead of saying it's not good or it's bad, I can, at the end of the day, just allow myself to appreciate the artistic vision and see the artistic vision, even though it's not for me. It might not be for me. It wasn't made for me. Art is not, it's really made for the artist as a way to express themselves.
Yeah.
And if a consumer appreciates it and likes it and listens to it, fantastic. But at the end of the day, if nobody listens to it and you're proud of it, that's your art, baby. The end.
I completely agree.
Don't get me on my preaching box, because I will.
Yeah.
I will hype all of y'all up in the chat. Actually, I have a video that I recorded today all about my publishing fears and how I'm overcoming them. So if you need a good pep talk, look out for that on the channel soon.
Oh, heck yeah.
Heck
yeah. And Saoirse's here.
Hello, I know, I'm behind on chat. There's so many friends. Hello. So many friends. All the friends are so happy to see Saoirse.
Baby.
Oh my gosh. So many friends. I'm trying. That's your art, baby. The end. Put it in a quote book. Exactly. And that's what I love. And that's I think my favorite part about being on this space is just getting to meet all of you wonderful people in chat and hearing about your process and your art and your story, and just how, in spite of all the internet trolls that live amongst us, you're putting yourself out there, you're being brave, and I commend you all for that. So if no one has told you recently that they're proud of you, me and Taylor are proud of you.
Yes.
Okay.
And you're doing a great job.
Yes, you are. Job. You're slaying the Boots house down, Mama Diva.
Queen. Slay.
Hello from Montreal. Happy to have you here. But you know what else we're happy to do here?
What, Cody?
Perhaps we're happy to be here to write, because we have hit our 20-minute mark on this live, and it is time to really, really get into it. If I haven't said already, I'm going to be working on outlining for the Dusk Trials. Taylor, you're working on outline, but for revision purposes, correct?
Kind of. I'm working on draft 2.
Okay, so draft 2 revisions. We love to see it. I guess if I could just read, 4. I could have just read your.
No, it's okay. Tag. It's fine. It's okay. But I'm on chapter 4, so hopefully I can get through this chapter in this sprint. So
yeah, listen, y'all all know I'm good at a segue. I'm gonna keep that thing rolling. Also, thank you so much. That's so sweet. Y'all are so sweet.
I love everybody.
Don't apologize for drafting. You're gonna slay and eat it.
Yeah.
You're gonna eat and leave no crumbs.
Queen.
And you will finish this draft, Queen.
Slay.
Boots. Anyway, we're gonna stop yapping and gabbing, and we're gonna get this party started. 40 minutes are on the clock. Happy writing, reading, working, washing dishes, whatever it is you're gonna do it with a smile, and we'll see you in 40 minutes.
Good luck.
Unmute. There we go. How did that go for you?
It went.
Did it-
Honey, I wrote about 700 words. I'm not used to this. Whoa.
Yeah, it's usually like that, but I just think it's nice to fill the screen. We're gonna fill the screen. We're gonna use all the space.
But yeah, I didn't finish chapter 4. I pretty much rewrote the entire beginning. So, Natalie!
We love to see it. Hi, Natalie. So happy to have you here. We had a lot of friends join during that sprint. Jess started working on brainstorming, new big interconnected series. I'm having so much fun with it so far. I love that. Sorry, I got distracted. You didn't finish talking. Go ahead.
So yeah, I didn't finish chapter 4. I rewrote the whole beginning, which was like 700 words, and then I still have the whole second half of this chapter to edit and like rewrite. So it's fine.
But that'll be when you're done with that. That'll be one less chapter you have to rewrite. You know.
Yeah, and I wasn't initially going to rewrite this chapter, is the thing. But I realized I didn't like where it was starting. It just didn't fit right, and I kind of knew that already. So there was a lot of reflection happening in the beginning because of what happens, So,
yeah, definitely.
now, yeah, a lot's going on. So I had about, let me see, like 400 words of like processing, internalizing, and then we jump into the action.
Amen.
So yeah,
I'm excited. I'm so excited to read it because I know how the third book starts at least. And I know a part of how it ends, but I just don't know how it happens because
and this chapter
I wasn't invited to that party.
This chapter was Adelaide, so it was a lot of
and I know she's got a lot to say.
And a lot to think about. Sure.
Very specific person.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm catching up on chat. Hi, Yasmin. Happy to have you here for the vibes. Charlotte's here, not working on my fiction today, but we'll be writing a Substack post and doing some cleaning. I actually just got into Substack. I have one. It's Cody the Writer if you want to follow me, but I haven't posted anything there because I just kind of want to have it there as like a that's gonna be like my, I guess, like author blog. That's gonna be where I can like post things that I'm thinking about. Like I kind of have the idea of like pretty much for every YouTube video, like sit down YouTube video that I script, that can be revised into like a Substack post where I can like share it, the same information, just in a different medium.
Yeah.
So for people that maybe are trying to take a break from YouTube but want to get into more reading, they can still get the same content just in a new form. So yeah, follow me on Substack. You don't have to, you can do the free one. I'm not doing any kind of like paid tiers on that. Just yeah. Hi LDJ, so happy to have you here. Actually, funnily enough, I was just as my ambiance for while I was just like staring at the wall and thinking, I had your newest vlog on where you are finishing your book. So I haven't finished it yet, but I am watching it.
It's so good. I love that vlog. I watched it this morning. 10 out of 10.
I'm excited. I also saw Brielle posted a new vlog, so I got to watch that. Yes. All my friends posting out here. I just got to catch up. Speaking of the video, he's editing one for next week, so we love to see it. So excited. CK's here. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Also, you never have to apologize for being late. Like,
yeah.
We're just happy to have you here. Yeah. No matter what time you get here, you could get here 5 minutes before we're done. I'll still be happy to see you.
Yeah.
But you took the longest nap, and you know what? Sundays are made for naps, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Yet I choose to be on the internet on Sundays, but it's fine. Yeah. Let's see. Started writing the creation myth of the fantasy world to figure out magic delineation. That's a big word for Elmo. You better work. Very attached to your creator god. Love to see it. Yeah, I have a whole like in the beginning moment that I have written out for Project Purple's world. Not that it'll actually come up in the book. It might be referenced. I don't know yet, but I just feel like I wanted to know how the world came to be, how it was created, because me as the creator of the world, I want to know. you know?
Yeah.
Even though I'm making it all up as I go, I love it. 833 words written for chapter 25. That's awesome. Great job.
Heck yeah.
581 words. Taylor, I just met Riley. We love Riley.
Yes.
Just
Yes,
saying.
we do.
Just saying. Oh, thank you, CK. So sweet. I got through another of my beta readers feedback. Only 2 more sets of feedback to go. Love that. I actually finished up some beta reader feedback today. He's been in the chat before, but he has a YouTube channel, Stephen Clark, author Stephen Clark. I don't know what specifically he's under, but yeah, just got done beta reading for him. He wrote, I'm trying to think how, like I guess a paranormal. It's like a, it's like a thriller. But there's also like the main character comes back to life for a specific reason.
Ooh.
And that's all I'm going to say because it's his story. I don't want to spoil anything, but that's kind of like the vibe, you know?
Okay.
We definitely, there's like these, it's like thrillers meets immortals, like a mystery kind of vibe. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm literally on Substack just because I have a couple friends on there. Like Becca has one, Nick has one, you have one, right? Or did I make that up?
Well, I like made an account, but I'm not like I just made it.
Did
to,
you
like,
follow
read.
me?
I think so. I think
Okay,
I'm just reading. I'm just reading. I'm not going to be posting. At least
yeah,
not
you
yet.
followed me on there, and I was like, oh, I didn't know Taylor had one of these, but I haven't explored it very much at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems to be very cool, and it definitely seems to be very like writer central, writer focused.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. So yeah. Exactly. Because I feel like knowing how your world came to be also in a way dictates your magic system and like its limits, you know, what it can and cannot do. So I feel like in order to know that, you really need to know the root of the world to be able to, yeah, you know, come up with the magic system and how it works. Let's see. All the friends saying hi. Tia got 301 words and Project Acceptance and jotted down some ideas for Project Lifetime. Love. Ash is finally making progress in their outline, adding some more scenes to add character development. That's my favorite thing. Love me a good character development. Aw, CK. I just love all you friends. Y'all make my day brighter every time I get on the internet. Figured out how a past case and present case are interrelated and lead to massive unaliving. Okay, that's tea. Like, is it massive unaliving like Darth Vader and all them kids, or is it like, you know, like give me the extent of the massive unaliving?
Oh boy.
I'm pretty sure it's just Cody the writer? Question mark. Hold on, let me look because I literally. Okay, I gotta log in. Hold please. Taylor, tell the kids a fun story while I'm trying to fix this.
Okay, so the other day I was driving and I was on my way home and a motorcycle was in front of me and he had to pull over. And so I wanted to be a kind civilian and I just kind of like moved out of the way. No car was coming. So like, you know how you kind of go over the lines that are in the road?
All the time.
I was a little shocked because there was something in the road and I was like, oh, I want to be mindful and like not hit the thing. So I was very aware and tried to get it between my wheels. I did, luckily, because it was a machete.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to go back and hear the rest of the story because that's crazy.
It was a machete. So I don't know if homeboy on the motorcycle, like it fell off of his motorcycle and he was pulling over to get his machete or what was going on. And it was kind of like in the back roads. So I was very scared. So I pushed the gas as far as it would go and I took off. I flew. Yeah, it was a machete. It was a machete. And I always joke with Trevor, I'm like, I want a machete. So a part of me was like, do I pull over and get it? Like, was it a weapon? Like, was it involved in a crime? Like, but yeah. So that was my story.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't hear any of it, but I'm just assuming it was crazy because all I heard was machete. And so I'm just going to assume it was a great story. But yeah, Darth Vader and all them kids, I got to know. But yes, I have confirmed that it is in fact Cody the writer. Which, thank God. because I need to have some sort of consistency on the internet, I suppose. But yeah, it turns out the people were into the story. Like, girl, huh?
Yep. That
Like,
happened like, oh gosh, I don't even know, like 2 weeks ago, maybe?
not the crime machete.
I was like, I don't know. Was it involved in something? I don't
Uh,
know. I don't know. It looked not new, but not rusted. So it looked used.
mm-hmm. We're just gonna see. That's when you just dissociate and you say, "Not my business." You know?
That's why I just sped up and I was like, nobody's following me. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna, I didn't see it. I didn't see
Yeah, we're just gonna vibe. But also, there are no
uh,
kids, thankfully. But there are 60 people, which I would agree is a pretty large amount of unaliving that
yeah.
have took place. But you know what? You know who else likes mass unalivings? Taylor in Venture Alone. uh, and that's the tea. I only know about like 2 or 3 unalivings that happen, but woof. I know there's more because she has told me there are more, just not who. And
Yeah.
I want to know.
It's gonna
Anyway.
hurt. It's gonna hurt.
Oh, I already know. I already know. Never mind. I can't do it. That's a spoil. I'm not going to spoil. The ukulele was the cause of the argument. I don't.
That wasn't to me. That was a little bit up from
Oh,
Leah.
okay. I was like,
There was no
huh?
ukulele in my story.
I
Mine
don't
was
know why, but
Spanish.
it reminds me of the time I got in a verbal fight with a guy with a ukulele. I love that. I love that. I don't know what the parameters are around this sentence,
Uh-huh.
but I would love to hear this story. I need you to write this
Yeah.
and let me know that it is a one of the tropes is ukulele violence. And
Post it on Substack.
yeah, sign me up, tag me, shout me out because I want
Oh.
to know. Yeah, I agree. That story is quite wild,
Yeah.
but we love to hear it. But should we shift the topic really quickly back to outlining?
Yes.
I'm trying to think of what other aspect of the outlining process. Okay. So I've talked about many times how I'm very much a linear person. So I very much go in order. Are you the same way? Are you kind of like, I know I want this scene, this scene, this scene, this scene, this scene, and then you kind of like rearrange it into a
Mhm.
cohesive outline?
Yes and no. Like I think there's certain scenes that I already want. Yes, back to outlining, not
Yes,
machete or
outlining.
ukuleles. Outlining.
We're not
Um,
outlining dead bodies. We are outlining books.
yeah. But I think specifically for Venture Alone, like there were scenes or chapters or like things that I knew needed to happen. So those I kind of wrote down to the side and I was like, this needs to happen. And then I did kind of go linear. Like I feel like that makes the most sense, like in my
Hmm.
brain too. Like I want to follow the flow of the story and then also like where characters are supposed to be, like that type of stuff. Like it's just easier to go in a like sequential order. And then I look back at like my little like thing that I had written down. And I'm like, okay, this I need to plug in here. I'll keep going. Oh, this I need to put here. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
occasionally I'll rearrange. With this draft, I'm more like taking and replacing than anything.
Hmm.
Or combining. Like I just combined like 2 chapters into one and I'm like cutting a scene from it and then making a whole new chapter with like the same premise of that scene and like a chapter or two away, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Slay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have a question from Leah. Does the pace need to increase after the midpoint? Now, I feel personally, I feel this is not a yes or no answer. I think it depends on a lot of variables and factors. First of all, it depends on genre.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, it depends on the story that you're trying to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Next, it depends on what events took place at the midpoint. And would that naturally speed up the events that take place after the midpoint? For example, if the event that happens at the midpoint places the characters on some sort of like timer, like they have a limited amount of time to do something after something at the midpoint, then I feel like naturally, yes, the pace will increase. But again, I feel like it just depends on a lot of different variables.
Yeah.
But I do feel that in most cases, naturally, the pace will increase as you approach the end because what should be happening is all these things kind of coming together in some sort of
Mhm.
way to create whatever ending you've come up with.
Yeah.
But that is my thoughts. Taylor, what do you think?
I agree with everything you said, but again, it's super unique and personalized to your project and like you as a writer even. So like I do agree though. I think for the most part the midpoint should create this like sense of urgency maybe more than
Hmm.
anything. So that could make your pacing quicker, but like the urgency is peaked. You know what I mean? Like we've hit this, our midpoint happened, and like now stuff has hit the fan. Like we're in action mode, like things are happening. So I think the before that was more build up and like setting the foundation, and then your midpoint happens, urgency, we're running. Then yeah,
Yeah.
I think naturally the pace will pick up.
And I feel like
Um,
most plots kind of follow that like
yeah.
natural hill where it's like the slow, steady incline, and then you hit the midpoint, and from the midpoint you see the ending from the top of that
Mhm.
hill. And
So
as you're
you're.
going downhill, naturally the pace is going to increase because you're going downhill.
Mhm.
You're landing that plane. You're about to deep dive into the whatever the finale of your book is. So
Mhm.
I feel like naturally it will, but I don't think there's a hard and fast rule out there
Yep.
that says anything about what the pace has to do after the
Mhm.
midpoint. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Our next question, I finished my outline, but it's too simple. Would it be easier to draft if it's more detailed? I have thoughts on this, but Taylor, I'll let you go first on this one, unless you want me to go first.
I have an answer. So, for me with Venture Alone, I think in the moment I thought I was giving myself a pretty detailed outline, and then as I was writing, I was like, "Girl, what is like? Where are we? Like, what is happening right now?" So. I have found that for me in the future, I think I'm going to make mine even more detailed before I actually start drafting, especially towards the ending, like the wrapping up phase. I think I need to spend more time really thinking about what needs to happen at the end because I was very loose with my outline in that last act 3. And I was like, war, death, wrap up this scene, wrap up this chapter, happily ever after, not for them, the end. And I'm like
Not
writing like,
war.
but I
That's
was like,
like,
girl, as I'm trying to write it, I'm like, passing did not help me because I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know who's involved in the scene, where we are. So for me, that those are kind of the attributes I'm gonna aim for is like who's in the room, what room are we in, where are we, what needs to happen in the scene, and at least have that thought through a little bit and give myself the freedom to discovery write it, but having at least an idea of what needs to
Mhm.
happen in detail, because I realized with not as much detail, it was harder for me to draft personally.
Yeah. I agree. I think that as far as the outline goes, it should be detailed enough to where, at least for me, to know what's happening in the scene, how does it move the plot forward, how do the characters feel about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, if you know those three things, then you could pretty much, work up the scene. And yes, you will probably discover things prior to you getting to that scene in the book, and or you might discover things as you're just in that scene writing it. You're like, actually, my
Yeah.
characters wouldn't do this thing that I said they were going to do, and that's okay because the beautiful thing about outlines is you can change it. They are a living document. They are never final, which is the I guess the best part about it, and it helps take some of the pressure off knowing that nothing that you put in the outline, hell, nothing that you put in the first, second, third draft, none of this that you're writing is final until you
Yeah.
hit publish. So
Mhm.
don't put too much stress on yourself about do you know enough because again every process is different. Maybe I need to know more about a certain scene than Taylor does and vice versa, and every writer's different. So I feel like as long as you have enough there to be able to write the scene and let yourself kind of explore and learn more, then I think it'll be fine. I think
Mhm.
it'll all come out even in the end.
Mhm.
um I'm having a hard time with the pace of my novella because it's supposed to be short. Yeah, usually when I'm struggling with pacing things, I start with finding the scenes that are really more just there because I want them to be there, not because they actually move the plot forward.
Mm.
Because usually those are the first ones to get cut. Or you can find a way to incorporate that same amount of
Yeah.
information just in passing in a scene that does move the plot forward, if it is important information to you as the author. But
Mhm.
I think that would be the easiest way to
Yeah.
boost pacing. And yeah, that's my thought on that.
It's a great thought.
Thank you, thank you. Caught a small case of my world builder's disease. My outline spans multiple sheets and over 2,000 cells. I love that.
Ooh,
I love that. But again, every
these are
writer's different. Some people want to know
yeah.
all that stuff beforehand. I feel
Some
like I
people
know
want nothing.
pretty. Yeah, some people don't want to just figure it out. Like they're
Mhm.
literally like I think Brandon Sanderson was like it's architects and there's another one gardeners and architects or something like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Um, gardeners just plant seeds and see what grows out of it. They don't have a
Mhm.
plan. They just kind of roll with it. Architect is very much plan. They have an outline on paper. They know how things should look. If things come up along the way and they need to make an adjustment, cool. But for the most part, it's planned out, you know?
Mhm.
But yeah, I love that though for you because that's so fun. If I let myself, I'd probably do the same thing for Project Purple.
Yeah, you would.
Of course. So happy to help. But you know what I think would help in this moment?
What would help, Cody?
Our second writing sprint. I
Oh
really
no.
do think that would help. So here we are. We've reached our second sprint of the day, our final sprint of this beautiful Sunday. 40 minutes are on the clock. Happy reading, writing, whatever it is you do, do it with a smile. We'll see you in 40 minutes.
What are you eating?
Look, I ain't about to- I haven't eaten anything all day. And so for the last like 20 minutes of that sprint, I was in fact making a grilled ham, turkey, cheese sandwich. And
Oh, hell yeah.
it really is healing something inside of me as we speak.
I
How'd that
love
go
that.
for you? Oh, but other than that, I did plot like three chapters, but then I was starving and I had to make food. So
Mine was good. Mine was good. I finished chapter 4 up and I basically rewrote chapter 5, which was about 900 words. And I really love it. I love it a lot. I really like chapter 4 even and like how it ends.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm so excited to read it,
Loving this.
Fran.
I'm
I'm
loving it.
so excited. I'm just seeing how excited you are about it gets me hyped about it. So
Like I'm eating it up. Like
yes, I can't wait to eat it up. So I need you to hurry up and finish it, okay? But
Okay.
actually, don't rush it though. Don't rush it. Also, I don't know if you saw Reputate spawned.
I did
Her
see
spawning
using
tech
that.
glitched. Yeah. Sometimes whenever I pull up Focus, it does the gentle wind chime one, and then I think that it's still set on that, and then it'll go bring, and I'm like, well, that's the energy we're going into today with. So, yeah. But CK sent one query, slay, love that.
Queen.
But picked out all 10 agents that you'll be querying today. That's so fun. Congratulations. That's
cool.
like, I love that. Finished my creation myth, 480 words total, and puts it around in the master doc to adjust the world building accordingly. Love. So fun, so fun. Yes, yay, CK.
Not the sandwich coming up.
Listen, excuse me. The heartburn it just hit me all of a sudden. That's life in your 30s, people. I'm kidding. I'll be 30 next month.
That's crazy.
30 and thriving.
Old.
Shut up. You'll literally be 30 the same year, just a little later in the year.
Yeah.
It's fine. But I feel like our 30s are going to be our best years.
Yep. That's
like
what I've
the
heard.
end of 29, the end of the 20s really started to like ramp up.
Yeah.
And now I'm going into my 30s like I can literally do anything.
I agree.
Because that's what my gay audacity tells me. With enough time and enough YouTube tutorials, I can do anything. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, YouTube taught me how to change my car battery and my oil. So anyway, that's totally irrelevant. My outline devolved into kind of a zombie thing. Got to rein that in. We love zombies.
Gotta rein.
Zombies in space. Like, sign me up, honestly. Edited like 700 words. Amazing. Terrified to turn 30. Why?
It'd be so
oh my
fun.
goodness. See, look at all of us almost 30 and 30-year-olds, newly 30-year-olds, just like talking it up. I'm so excited. And I mean, it's, not for much longer will I be able to say I'm just in my 20s. But it's fine. What were you going to say?
Saoirse, my 30s so far have been way better than my 20s. Girl, I thought you were in your 20s. Like at most mid 20s.
See, I just assume everyone is around or my same age. If I don't know, like that's just what my assumption goes to. It's usually the only way I can usually tell if someone's like really young is like their energy in the room. I'd be like, oh, you if you come at me a little too loud, I'll be like, yeah, I can tell you one of them youngins.
Oh my God. I love that.
Oh, turning 25. 32. I would not have guessed. I think Clark's 32. Because, I tell him all the time that he robbed the cradle. Because I'm just a baby.
Dude, the ladies here that work here asked Trevor how old I was. And when he was like, oh, she's 29, they were like, we thought she was a child. We thought you were like robbing the cradle. Like, actually thought she was like 20 something, like really young. And I was like, oh,
Oh.
thank you. Stop.
Yeah, Rebecca, 34. Life gets better. Love that.
Mhm.
27 for 28 is my birthday, and that's it. 29, I don't know. 29, feeling fine.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel good. I
I
like
feel like,
29.
yeah, this past, because I'm in 29 right now. Like,
Yeah,
it was a really good year for me. Because, I mean, it
I
was
agree.
right before 29 when I decided to just start this channel and start pursuing my passions. And so
Yeah,
29
it's
was
been a good year. It's been a
a
good year.
good year.
Hmm.
24, but feel 42. Felt that. Turn 31 next month. So far, life is good. Yeah, man. Renee, her 30s were way better than her 20s. And
Hmm.
see, from what I hear, your 40s are even better than your 30s. So,
Better and better.
I feel like life just, yeah, the more you learn, the less you know, and life just gets better because you just feel like I
Mhm.
don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Just YOLO and doing whatever I want to do, but also as long as I can pay my bills, that's it. Um, exactly. Exactly.
Facts.
Well, this was so much fun.
Mhm.
Taylor, do you want to tell the good people where they can find you, where they can buy your book, all the fun things?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, you can find me here on YouTube at Taylor Ann Wright. Just look it up. I posted a fun little library video yesterday that I love little library videos, so I just posted that. And then I do have an Instagram where you can follow me. I post pretty often on there. That's author Taylor Ann Wright. And you can buy my books on Amazon or Kindle Unlimited. Also, you can just look up Taylor Ann Wright, Venture Below, Venture Beyond, and you'll find them.
Period. And I'm Cody. I am also a writer. My debut novel comes out very soon. I'm having an announcement at the end of this month. It's already been filmed and planned. And so, yeah, literally it's the end of the month. I think Monday falls on like the 31st question mark, which is when that video is scheduled to go live. So, yeah, if you want to know all the things about how you could possibly win a free copy of my debut novel or some fun merch that I designed to go along with my debut novel that I might be wearing right now, you never know. But if you would like a chance to enter to win any of those kind of things, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you have post notifications turned on so you'll be the first to know about all the fun stuff coming your way within the next 30 days. Okay. So, with all of that, Taylor and I will see you next week, same time, Sunday, 3 p.m. Central Time. Otherwise, we'll see you somewhere else on the internet.
Love you guys.
Bye.